Hey there everyone, this is Joe in general, your resident reason and evidence enthusiast. This is an ICO watch video where I quickly let you into my little world, let you know what's on my radar currently for upcoming ICO's initial coin offerings. Now the five I happen to be looking at today are Swarm Fund, Sandcoin, Paragon Coin, DigiPulse, and finally 3DES. Now, of course, a couple of things. If you want to skip ahead, I'll use the time codes, which I will provide in the info section of the YouTube page and as part of the pinned comment. Of course, none of this is financial advice. I'm sure you know that. So do your own research. This is just what I'm looking at doing personally. This also won't be a full-on review of each ICO. It's really just a quick look into what I'm currently looking at, and I may or may not do more in-depth reviews on each ICO. I don't know, but this is just, again, a real quick look into what I'm currently looking at, which is coming up in the next, few weeks. And lastly, thank you to all the new subscribers, a total of 5,816 right now. Welcome to all the newbies. Okay, first up we have Swarm Fund. This is cooperative ownership platform for real assets. Now my subscribers will know I've already talked about Swarm Fund in a couple of videos already. So this is more of like an update as to what's going on with Swarm Fund. Its ICO got changed from September the 7th to the 21st. So that's why I'm talking about it again, because it still is up for sale in the next couple of days. So the ICO is still upcoming. But what I would suggest you do if you haven't watched these videos, do so. This one here, it's about an hour long. It's a review of the white paper, the light paper. It goes into depth about what Swarm Fund is. It asks some questions at the end. Then I ended up actually doing an interview with Philip Piper, one of the co-founders of Swarm Fund. So a couple of long videos on Swarm Fund. But what happened was this. So the token sale was due to start on September the 7th at 4 p.m. UTC. Now, I originally thought that that was at a time, because I'm here in Australia, I thought it was a time that I'd be able to stay up, long enough and be able to participate in the token sale straight away as it opened. But it turned out I made a mistake with the time zone conversion. Turned out it was going to be at like 2:30 or 3 in the morning my time. And I was pretty sure that the token sale wouldn't sell out within the first number of hours. So I was pretty confident that I'd still be able to get in, maybe at a slightly higher price. That's just the way the token model worked. But I was happy to do that because I'm like, I don't want to stay up till 3 in the morning. So I went to bed and thought I'll get up at, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, pardon me, and go back to the website and participate. So I jumped back on swarm.fund and the contribute button wasn't there. Things were looking a little bit different. Like, oh, okay, what happened? Did it all sell out? I jumped on their Telegram group, and lo and behold, it seems that it did occur that they had some issues, so they had to delay the ICO. And I was like, oh, what's going on? I scrolled up in the Telegram group, and there was a lot of people that were annoyed about it, which is understandable, of course. And there are people who are trying to explain, what happened, but I thought, they're going to probably do a blog post on it because they do blog posts. So they did do that eventually, and this is it right here. I will quickly read out sort of the main parts of it. But Swarm Fund opens pre-sale with 2.25 mil committed, and public token sale targeted to reopen on the 21st of the 9th, 21st of September. That's a couple of days away, so you can still get in if you like. Of course, watch my videos previously on Swarm Fund. But right here is the kind of the main meat of it. Despite incredible work from our developers and partners, we were forced to make several late accommodations due to the changing regulatory environment. Now, I wasn't able to find out more about what they're going on about the change in regulatory environment, but I do know that the guys at Swarm Fund, it's all about tokenizing real assets, but also having the legal framework around it. So there might be just something to do with that. So those guys seem to be the experts on that. So if they said they had to make several late accommodations and they couldn't do it, well, that's maybe one of the reasons, and I'm going to trust that that was a real reason. Despite a full smart contract audit from CoinSpect, we were unable to fully audit the UI. And additionally, the following issues surfaced in the initial software release. Incorrect countdown timer due to discrepancies between block time and UTC time, incorrect display of starting dollar price. And when I scrolled back up in the Telegram group to see what the hell went on, a lot of people were saying, and this is at the timing of around when the ICO was occurring, on September 7th, 4 p.m. UTC, people saying, oh, hang on, is it $4 or is it $1? What's going on? Which one is it? And sort of there's a lot of confusion. The registration form on the fiat landing page was partially inaccessible. That's not very good. Issues with the agree button on mobile devices. Well, that's not very good too. That sucks. No clear communication over appropriate gas price to use so there were some lost transactions due to no clear communication over appropriate gas price. That's not great for, excuse me, an ICO. Not great for the token launch, but it looks like, they're learning from their mistake. They're learning from their mistakes, and they're going to try it again on the 21st. So consequently, we decided to take more time and prolong the process to accommodate a fuller testing phase before a full public release, including user testing. Well, that's good. So rather than try and rush it out there, they decided take some time, reset it for the 21st of September, and then I assume by that time, all their T's will be crossed, their I's dotted, all their ducks in a row, etc. The other thing that I read on the Telegram group, and also in some comments left on my videos on Swarm, there are a couple of people who were saying that they are from the US, and then when they went to hit the contribute button, there's some forms you have to fill out, but there was a little disclaimer at the bottom saying that if you are from the US, there is a minimum buy-in of $100,000. Now, I can't confirm that 100% because, again, I wasn't there for the token sale, the initial token sale launch. I can't corroborate that, but I have had a couple of people mention that, and then a couple of people mentioned it in the Telegram group as well. I don't have any reason to suspect that they're lying. So that was something that was not known to me when I did the original review here. When I looked, it wasn't mentioned, and I went back through the white paper, and I could be missing it, but I didn't see it there. Any kind of minimum buy-in amount of nothing about the US and $100,000 minimum buy-in amount. It wasn't mentioned here in the interview with Philip Piper, but I don't know whether that's something they decided to add later on. I'm not sure, but that may be something you may need to consider if you're from the US and you're considering investing. There may be a minimum buy-in amount. Maybe they've gotten rid of it. I don't know, but I guess we'll find out on the 21st of September. I will be there this time for the token launch, even if it's at 3 in the morning. I'll go to bed early and get up because this is one I am still considering investing in. In fact, in this video right here, at the end of this video, I did say I would be making a small contribution, a small investment, and I'm still going to. So that's why I wanted to do a quick one on Swarm Fund to update people who had watched these couple of videos beforehand and to introduce it to people who have not learned about Swarm Fund previously. So Swarm Fund, 21st of September, maybe head over to their Telegram group. If you click on, where is it? They have a join Swarm on Telegram. If you go to swarm.fund, hit join on Telegram, go to their little community. Yeah, right there, the community. And maybe we might be able to find out some more information about the time of when on the 21st of September, the token launch will reopen. That's Swarm Fund. Now straight on to Sandcoin. This is one I have just recently placed an investment into, about 5 Ethereum worth, 5 Ether worth, relatively small amount. But I'm looking at actually buying some more as well. So I did want to let you know that it's on my radar and the sale is still open. So what the hell is Sandcoin? Sandcoin, the world's first electronic option for high quality sand. What the hell? Why the hell would I want to buy sand? Sand is everywhere, man. No. So what you're buying into is a sand quarry in Russia, specifically on the outskirts of Moscow. And why the hell would you want to do that? Well, let's have a look at the problems here. Moscow and the Moscow region, one of the most ineffective areas in terms of transportation, infrastructure, and logistics. Millions of people constantly faced with congested highways and motorways, which influences business development and ecological situation in a negative way. They've translated this into English. At the moment, there are this is the important thing, several new infrastructure and transport projects planned and already underway in Moscow and the Moscow region, including a central ring road, 525 km in length, railroad connection along the central ring road, new highway as well, It's also a decision made to demolish old and unfit residential property within Moscow, plans to build new modern housing units. The plan was endorsed by President Vladimir Putin. Now, sand, this is the big thing, right? Sand is a universal material necessary for building roads, house construction. Of course it is. Sand is used in cement. More than 150 million cubic meters of sand is required for road construction just in the immediate vicinity of their sand quarry. So they have found a quarry of sand which is close to where all the infrastructure is being developed, or close to, you know, where people are building, and it's high quality sand. You can't just, you know, gather sand off a beach, for example. You need high quality sand, and that's what they found. So they've basically said, look, guys, we found this awesome sand quarry. We want to mine the sand, but we need the seed funding. We need the startup capital. So here's we're going to raise the funds by an ICO, and in return for an approximate price of between $1 USD to, I think it goes up to the max of about $2 USD. I think I got in at around about $1.25. It's maybe a little bit higher now. The longer the ICO goes on for, that the higher the price becomes. That's the way this token model particularly is, but I think it's still very much closer to the $1 mark than the $2 mark currently. But for, let's just say, you know, $1.25, you get one sand token, and each sand token gives you 1 cubic meter of sand. So you get, well, entitled to as such, if you want to call it that, 1 cubic meter worth of sand. Now, a cubic meter worth of sand, according to Sandcoin, if you can read their white paper yourself, again, this is not a full review, is worth approximately $5.30 on the current market. So $5.30 per cubic meter of sand, but you can buy one sand token at between $1 to $2, and that entitles you to 1 cubic meter of sand. I'm sure you get the deal. Buy low and sell it later on for higher. That's kind of the deal. So that's as much as I guess I'll let you know about Sandcoin. This is one as I said, I have bought into. But I'm looking at buying more, and I want to let you know about it because the sale is still going. They have sold over half already, but they've still got quite a bit. Well, they've got less than half left, but it's slowing down the amount that they're selling. So the initial ICO that only happened the other night. I was up until about 1 a.m. usually much later than my bedtime, but I really wanted to stay up and get in quick because they did sell, as I said, almost, you know, half is gone already. I would consider getting in, and the way I found out about this particular coin was through Cliff High's WebBot report. If you're not familiar with Cliff High, maybe do some of your own research into Cliff High and WebBot thing. I've talked about that before, and you guys, my subscribers, know my deal with the whole CliffBot thing, my stance on that at the moment. But this is what he had to say in one of his reports, the September report, about the Sandcoin ICO. I'm not going to read it to you. You can just pause it and read it yourself, but he does say that he likes the idea, and he says that it has the ability to, you know, have a nice return later on, and possibly, you know, a larger return than just that sort of $5.30 return because of, you know, other things. So that was a real good reason. There are other things, but anyway, that's Sandcoin. I'm currently looking at that. The ICO is still open. There's the address right there. Check out en.sandcoin.io and maybe you can get in yourself. All right, next up we have Paragon Coin. Now this one, I haven't done a whole bunch of in-depth investigation on Paragon Coin. Why? Well, it's because it's about a space in which I think no matter what company comes up, but obviously you need to do a little bit of investigation into the team and the white paper, etc. But the space itself is the medical marijuana space. Now, I think in the next coming years, in the next decade, and probably longer, this is only going to grow bigger and bigger. Now, of course, there are going to be individual companies which try to come onto the market, and some will go gangbusters and some will fail. But Paragon seems to be, and I could be wrong, and correct me if I am wrong, I think it's the first to utilize the blockchain in the medical marijuana industry. Again, I could be wrong on that one, but it seems to be one that seems to have a good head on their shoulders. I've watched a couple of interviews with the CEO. Her name's Jessica Versteege. This is her right here. Where are we? That's Jessica Versteege. Check her out on YouTube. There's a couple of interviews with her talking about the company, what it is, what it's going to be doing. But very briefly, it is, where are we? Right here. I'll just quickly let you know. And of course, go to paragoncoin.com yourself. But what it's going to be doing right here, when I find it, there we go. We will create a chain of high-tech, fully equipped Paragon Coin centers in all 29 states, this is in the United States of America, where cannabis is legal, with the following: professional co-working space for cannabis and creative hub for scientists, journalists, investors, marketers, doctors, developers, fintech specialists, entrepreneurs, startups, and lawyers in the cannabis space. So it's basically, and a whole bunch of audio, video studios, little social club cafe sort of things. But it's basically a way to gather people from the medical cannabis industry into, a hub, So they're creating these different Paragon Coin centers or hubs in each of the 29 states, as I said, in where cannabis is currently legal within the states. Now, I think over the next coming years and decades, I think that's going to go to all 50 states, in my opinion. In fact, in my opinion, I think cannabis is going to be legalized in Australia eventually, and probably all around the world eventually. I think it's coming back in a big way, and I think this one has the opportunity to do very well. So I'll let you know now. The token sale is already open. It's been open for a couple of days, but it's still open, so that's why I want to let you know about it. I have already made a small investment in it. I just chucked a couple of Ether in, just a real small amount, because I like almost anything to do with this space. I did a quick bit of my research, to see is it a legit company, but there's lots of interviews and stuff, and lots of media about Paragon Coin, so it's definitely a legit company. Seems like they've got a good head on their shoulders, as I said, and it's in a space in which I think is just up and coming and going to get better and better as the years go by. It is one of those token models where it gets more expensive the longer that you wait to get in. Right now, the current price is $1.15 US per PRG coin, and it goes up by 5 cents every 24 hours. So, and I think they're going to do it until about a month from the start date, or until they reach the hard cap, I believe, which is 30 million PRG. They've sold at the moment in this particular crowd sale just over 1.5 million. So a lot of tokens to go, but the price increases. So next price increases in about 9 hours. So if you think the medical marijuana industry is something that will be getting more and more attention as the years go by, this may be one that you may consider looking at yourself. It is Paragon Coin. Go to paragoncoin.com, check out their white paper, do your own research, and you may consider investing. All right, next one up on my radar is DigiPulse. This is all about digital asset inheritance. What happens to your cryptos when you cark it, when you kick the bucket? Really good question, and these guys are the first movers in the space. Now, I did find out about this through Cliff High's WebBot report, as I did with Sandcoin, is what I mentioned before, the one I mentioned before. So I did find out about DigiPulse through Cliff High's WebBot report. If you want to hit pause right now, you can have a quick read of that. So that's what Cliff High had to say about DigiPulse in his September report. But look, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Hindsight's 2020. But I promise you, I can guarantee, if I had have seen or heard about this, read it in, or saw it come up in one of like ICOalert.com or for example, and had the little blurb, digital inheritance solution, something like that. This absolutely would have been one that I would have gone to look at anyway, because it makes complete sense to me. I'm sure it makes sense to you too. what happens when you die, where do your cryptos go, and they're offering the service of being able to pass on your cryptos to somebody else that you nominate, one person, many people, whatever you like. So I'll let you go to digipulse.io to check out their website. Now, their token sale starts on October the 1st, 1 week, 5 days, and a number of hours from now. Check out their white paper. This is it here, but they've got a lot up the top there. But if you quickly look at the what they're doing with the token sale. So in total, the maximum amount of tokens available during the pre-sale and the token sale, 12,700,000. The starting price, or the price, is 0.004 Ethereum per token. Token ticker is DGPT. They've got some minimum and maximum purchases, and they also have a bonus reward schedule as well. So I will let you go to the website yourself, check out the white paper. Again, for me, this is a no-brainer. I'm sure there will be other companies that come on board to do with this, but they've got the first mover advantage, which is very good. Also, do check out their frequently asked questions page. US citizens cannot be involved. That's happening a lot, unfortunately, at the moment. But you know, if you use like a VPN system, then you can probably get around that. But DigiPulse, I think, is one definitely that I'm going to invest in. I think at this stage I'm still watching it, but for me, it's, as I said, for the third time, almost a no-brainer. And I thought I'll just do a small amount, I believe. So that's it on DigiPulse. And finally, coming up on the 25th of September, we have 3DES. Now, this is a decentralized slicer. This is all about 3D printing. Now, I am not an expert on 3D printing. I have looked into it before. I'd love to get one eventually. It's something that does interest me, but I haven't, you know, gone way down the rabbit hole in terms of I'm not one who, I don't have a setup myself, but I do recognize, like with the one I just mentioned before, DigiPulse and Paragon Coin, to do with the medical marijuana industry. This was the digital asset inheritance industry, first mover here. I think the 3D printing industry has been getting larger and larger and will continue to do so. And so the problem that, without going into too much detail, because this is just a watch, not a review, but without going to, the main thing I should say is, or the main problem with 3D printing is the slicing. So what the hell is the slicing? Well, if I can put it into layman's terms, the three steps to get to a 3D printed anything is first shape modeling. Now that's, for example, I would, if I put that in layman terms, call it scanning. So let's say you want to make a 3D printed coffee cup. All right, so you put your coffee cup in the scanner as such, and then you scan it, and then what you have to do is you have to slice it up into layers, slice that picture or that scan up into layers, so that the printer right here can create those layers and build them up until you get a coffee cup, 3D printed coffee cup, right? Makes sense? Well, here is the problem, and this is where they mention it right here in their white paper. Go check it out. It's 3des.network, and go check out their white paper. But right here, standard 3D printing process using the most widespread FDM technology includes three main stages. One, shape modeling, preparing the initial model, things like the scanning, as I said, slicing, preparing the task for the 3D printer, and then printing, right? So many problems appear on the slicing stage, number two, forcing a user to adjust the settings multiple times before printing in order to achieve an object of suitable quality. So basically, there's a whole lot of readjusting that needs to be done a lot of the time. And they're basically saying that this is the most time-consuming part of 3D printing. This doesn't take too long. This doesn't take too long. It depends on what you're printing, of course, but this takes up the most time and effort and power and everything. It's the most annoying part, I guess. And it's most annoying for those who have a very low computer power. So someone just running off a laptop or even a PC, right? So for a low power computer, this is a longsome process requiring all the computing capacity, at which point the computer can't even be used for other purposes. That's like if you're rendering a video on a laptop, like I render my videos on my laptop. I can't really do anything else on my laptop while I'm rendering the video, preparing it to be able to upload, etc., because it's taking all my computing power. So same thing with the slicing section of 3D printing. And so since the slicing process needs to be repeated with every slightest settings adjustment. So based on this problem, our team made a conclusion that the industry needs a product enabling the fastest and cheapest possible 3D model slicing, stage 2, process using any computing equipment. So here is the solution. Pretty easy to understand, I think. So here's you and your computer, and that's the thing that the speed's slow. The cost is relatively low though, because you're just using your own computer. Now, but it takes a hell of a long time. Now, there is cloud solutions, and that's where you send it to a third party, and that one third party does it all on their very fast computers or servers, and then they send you back the file or whatever. Now that does solve the problem. However, it's really expensive. So 3DES suggesting. So what they've decided is they're doing a decentralized model. Now think of this like when you're downloading, not that you should, but when you're downloading a movie off a BitTorrent site. So when you're BitTorrenting, when you're using a torrent site, you're not downloading the whole file off one computer, off one server. You're actually downloading tiny little bits from every little place, every little computer that is holding a copy of the movie. That's kind of the layman's version, I guess. So you're getting little bits from everywhere. So that's what they're going to do here. They're creating this decentralized network so that the slicing gets done by lots of different computers. So it takes a lot quicker, but they're not charging you a whole bunch like one cloud company might be doing that, one company. So apparently just as quick as sort of the cloud model, but a hell of a lot cheaper. So that's the problem, slow, and their solution is we can do it for quicker and for cheaper than the current more expensive version. So I think, as I said, like DigiPulse and Paragon, 3D printing is a very large space. It's going to only get bigger and bigger as the years go by, and it seems like they're offering a solution to a definite problem. So this is one I'm watching. I haven't decided 100% yet whether I am going to invest. If I do, it might be a small amount. Again, I like to spread my risk, or not put all my eggs in one basket. But I would highly suggest that you go to 3des.network, check out their white paper, and if you think that 3D printing is going to continue to be getting bigger and bigger as the years go by, this may be one you might be looking at. But that is my thoughts so far on 3DES. And I think that's the end. That's the 5th one. So thank you very much for watching. Of course, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. More ICO watch videos coming, and much more coming on my channel as per usual. Joe in general. Thanks, gang. Stay safe, stay informed. Speak soon.